So we just went and saw The Lion King remake.
This is essentially Disney's retelling of the story. It's probably about 95% similar, if not the same exact. I guess we should say now we're getting to spoiler warnings. So
Right, spoiler alert.
pause this if you haven't seen the movie or the original one, but go out. It's definitely worth a good night watching. But yeah, the story's essentially the same. Simba's a little cub to his father Mufasa, who tells him he's going to rule everything, but his brother Scar's have to take the throne from him. Some of the characters were like pretty good. I thought Seth Rogen as Pumbaa was really, really funny.
Yeah.
I thought John Oliver as Zazu was a little over the top, but it's kind of what an annoying bird kind of does.
He sounded good. I actually thought all the voice actors did a really good job of trying to keep to that original sound. Like a lot of it really sounded like genuine first edition Lion King.
Yeah, Rafiki was another cool character in the movie.
Yeah.
Crazy monkey guy.
Yeah.
He might not have been as crazy as the cartoon version because he could do a lot more things, and be a lot more silly. But this one, you could tell was definitely the kind of the elder, the not mage, but kind of like the shaman,
Yeah.
who could talk to the dead and help Simba reconnect with his dad.
Yeah.
But now we get into one of the most controversial parts, in my opinion. If this movie's about 95% the same as the original one, that 5% that was changed was one of the scenes that I love from the original one, as the good guys are storming Pride Rock and ready to take it. Timon and Pumbaa are kind of cornered by hyenas, and Pumbaa gets called a pig. Now in the original one, he goes, "You call me pig?" And he gets all mad. He goes, "They call me Mr. Pig!" Ah! And then charges in and takes down all of them and just beats their asses. And in this one, instead of calling him pig, they call him a fat pig. Pumbaa gets hung up on the fat part as if he's being body shamed. Then, all of a sudden, he talks about how he'll run away from hyenas but not from bullies, and then fights them. So just like, you keep so much of the same, almost the same exact dialogue, and you had to change one of the best punchlines in the whole movie.
In his opinion.
And yeah, exactly, in my opinion.
But it is a really good part. I mean, I was excited for it too. I was like, oh, here's the part. And then they butchered it. And I was like, dude, they messed up your favorite part, Joe.
Like, the music was really, really cool. Even though it's the same as the original one, they have about 4 or 5 songs in the movie. That's a lot of fun.
But they're iconic. You recognize them right away and you're just like, yeah, this is great.
But if you take, let's say, you muted the entire audio of the movie, all of them talking, it's like watching National Geographic, how real this CGI is. So
yes.
Part of my mind is like, we're watching a bunch of just animals in the wild, like, fucking fight and coexist, I guess. And then the other half means like, oh, it's a story about a bunch of CGI, animals, in a faraway land, and they're just trying to exist in the circle of life. I'm a little more, I think, from this movie, if anything to take away is Hakuna Matata. No worries the rest of your days, just keep positive. Sometimes you have to block out the past and create your own future and forge ahead. So I like that part. Overall, if I had to give it a grade, I'd probably give it about 8 out of 10 stars.
8 out of 10?
It looked real great. They didn't do as much with the CGI animals as I thought they would. I thought they'd be way more animated, and thank God they weren't. It really kind of sticks to who they are as creatures. They're not humans, so the way they move, the way they talk, the way they kind of exist with each other, it felt like it was more natural. So
right, yeah.
I like that. I like how closely stuck to the movie while kind of making some nice changes that helped. And even though we had a couple people like James Earl Jones voicing Mufasa come back, we had new people like Childish Gambino playing Simba.
That was the same Mufasa?
Yeah, the same Mufasa from the first one.
Okay, so that's why it sounded so genuine. I was like, dude, this guy is dang good as Mufasa. It's the same guy. I had no idea.
Yeah,
Thanks.
yeah, and so it looked great to me. I'm pretty sure the kids will like it. The adults who saw it as kids will probably like it too.
This is what we want to see now as adults. That's how I'm kind of seeing it, and so maybe it's not as child-friendly as the other one, but I'd still give it about a 7, like a little bit lower, just because I prefer the old one. That's it.
Yeah, so hopefully before this gets out of theaters, you go see The Lion King, and then you get to decide. But yeah, go see Lion King. This is the Grandmaster spilling the beans with Brian, the blacksmith.
Here, how about this one?
Alright. Alright, Brandon. So, in the movie The Lion King, essentially it's the same as the cartoon version. They have a fucking point where Simba, who is lost in a different jungle, a bit of his hair goes off, and to make a long story short, this is the hair that lets Rafiki know that Simba is alive. But it goes through a fucking minute-long scene.
Are you sure it's a minute? It's like at least 2 minutes.
By a bird. It got took to a nest. It got thrown out of a nest. It kept going on. It got picked up. And in the end, all of a sudden a giraffe sees it on a leaf in a tree. And you think, oh, he's going to knock it out and send it into the wind. No, he eats it. And then it goes fucking black. And then you're like, what the fuck just happened? Then you see a fucking dung beetle pushing along a big old circle of giraffe shit, and he pushes off a cliff, and that part of the poo-poo splits up, and in that little piece of shit is Simba's hair that flies out again, gets picked up, and gets picked up by ants. It just so happens those ants are going up the tree where Rafiki, the monkey prophet, lives. And he sees an ant carrying that one little piece of hair, and that's his one way of knowing that Simba is not dead. It was the fucking strangest 2 minutes of my life.